Thank you, Mr. Alvey, for participating in our endorsement process. The interview will be recorded and posted to YouTube. Please speak up so your answers can be heard when answering the questions. My name is Dwayne Hancock, EASMC Vice President.
My name is Tiffany Thompson. I'm a Building Service Manager at George Washington Carver.
I'm Elaine Deems. I'm a special education paraeducator at Leonardtown Middle School.
My name is Mary Ann Tomasic. I am a career advisor at the Chesapeake Public Charter School, the Forest Technology Center, and our virtual academy.
Good afternoon, Katrina Mills, Building Service Manager at Spring Ridge Middle School.
And for the purposes of this interview, Mr. Alvey, the term educator will refer to all SMCPS employees. Everybody in St. Mary's County Public Schools will be an educator. All right. And the first question of the day, if elected, what are your top 3 priorities?
First would be public safety, education, and the cannabis facility going in a residential neighborhood, which I'm against.
Okay. Thank you.
In your view, what challenges do you see the children in our county facing as they work to be successful in our schools?
Probably maybe overcrowding, disruptive students. I think that would probably be my 2 things that would challenge. I have grandkids in the public schools now, and I always quiz them when they come home to see what challenges they've had, and that seems to be their topic.
Thank you.
Which considerations are most important when drafting and finalizing the county budget?
Well, again, like I said, my 2 top priorities are public safety and education. I think they should go first, and I would think education and public safety should get as much funding as the county public can allow. You know, I know. Well, that's just my opinion, but the 1.2 million that they're getting back from the cannabis sales for the state, I'm a firm believer that should go to education too. Well, you just had the counselors that were contract laid off. I think that would probably pay for have them back.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. As a county commissioner, how will you include the voice of St. Mary's County Public Schools and public educators in your decision making?
Well, I would think we would probably have to have a close meeting with the superintendent, board of education, whatever concerns that the educators have, and we'd have to take everything into consideration. I know this year they're calling for another, not gonna have the surplus the state has, and we might not get the funding that we normally get. And I know there's gonna be challenges facing everybody, but again, like I said from the beginning, public safety, education will always take they'll be at the forefront of any decision that I would make, and if I was elected president, we would sit down as a board, and we're not going to follow suit in what the last board did. We'd have to come up with our ideas as to what priority would be.
Thank you. Please share an overview of your campaign, including your key endorsements, fundraising, and campaign plans, and why you believe you will be a competitive candidate.
Well, I think I'm a competitive candidate because of my background. I followed county politics for the last 25, 30 years. I followed the Board of Education all the way back to Dr. Fulton, Dr. Monterano, Dr. Smith. I followed the county boards. I know what decisions the county commissions have made that has not been a good decision, and the decisions they've made that have been bad decisions. As far as campaign financing, I'm pretty much financing my own. I feel like this is something I want to do. I'm not asking for donations per se, and I tell you the truth, if if I get an endorsement, fine, I'm not asking for endorsements. I want to put my message out there and let the people decide what candidate they want.
Okay, thank you. Next question. County Commissioners passed a tax increase effective in 2025 to support the blueprint. As a commissioner, will you commit to use the revenue as it was intended to support public education?
Well, when they passed that tax increase, that put the income tax rate at the highest. It was, in 2022, the commissioners lowered the income tax rate from 3.1 to 3 election year. 2023, they're going into the blueprint, 2024, they raised it 3.2. It was, I think the Board of Education needed 9 million. That increase only gave them 7 million, and they were still short. Last year in the legislature, they increased the income tax rate from 3.2. It can go up to 3.3. It can be raised another point. With today's economic times and stuff, electric bills, I'm sure yours are probably like mine, sky high this last month. Now we got the gas prices going back up and stuff. If I had to raise taxes for education or public safety, if I had to do it, I would do it. But I would hope we never have our backs against the wall for that. I believe in fully funding the education and public safety, because I think they work hand in hand.
Thank you.
What specific revenue strategies would you implement to fully fund public education?
Again, the surplus that's coming from the state, 1.2 million, I think that should go to education to offset some of the things you've lost.
Thank you.
As of right now, that's the only thing I would, and that's, the state has earmarked that money for like low-income areas, but I think with legalizing marijuana, you might have some issues in every area. I think those councils would be a big help to the Board of Education, or school board, whatever.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
School districts cannot be expected to solve the mental health crisis alone. How would you leverage your role as commissioner to build formal partnerships with county health departments or private providers to offer wraparound services on campus?
Well, the health hub they have on Great Mills Road, when I was a member of the Housing Authority, PNC Bank gave that building to the Housing Authority. And we could have done anything we wanted with it, but we partnered with the health department, so they got the mental health facility in there now. We look forward to that, and I was a member of that board. I think mental health is a big issue in the county. Anything that the next Board of Commissioners could possibly do to help out, I'd be all for it. And again, money dictates everything, so that would have to be, I would probably tie mental health in with education and public safety.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
We are one of the largest employers in the county, and our employees make up a large part of the community. How would you support us in your budget?
You don't just like just educators, right? Again, you got to keep salaries competitive. Having the daycare, I think they'll have access to that, right? That's for the county employees. sheriff department and the school board, they've got access to that. They've got access to the I can't think of what it's called right now, the medical facilities that you're allotted. I'd be all for that, maybe expanding that, but probably, one of my personal, things as far as the, educators go, the state is putting a lot of mandates down on the county to pick up the charges for a lot of stuff. I would like to see, and I'll just say Dr. Smith, since he's in charge of everything, have more say in disciplinary for the school board. Because right now, my granddaughter was telling me about an incident that happened at one of the middle schools. Two kids got in a fight, big guy, little guy, and one got hurt bad, but 2 weeks later, they're both back to school. I'm not in favor of kicking them out, but you might have to homeschool or do, you gotta have some type of consequence for bad behavior. And I think that would make it easier on, I think when a person decides to be a teacher or an educator, their heart's in it. They don't need to go into a classroom where every day's a combat zone.
Thank you.
Commissioners often have equal power but differing viewpoints. Describe a time you had to build consensus among a group of peers with conflicting priorities. What was your strategy?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. Commissioners often have equal power but differing viewpoints. Describe a time you had to build consensus among a group of peers with conflicting priorities. What was your strategy?
Well, I'm never happy with people who disagree with me. But I think we'd all have to put our opinions out and then come up with the best strategy to, I guess, take care of every problem we have. I've watched budget sessions with the commissioners and the school board, and, you know, it's never an easy process. And we're all on the same team. You know, commissioners might be funding it, but the educators are end result, and they get the kids educated and stuff. So we all should be on the same team and look at that as we're on the same team, but it's not us against them, you know. But no, I'm a good listener, and I think the new board and if I'm the president of it, will work good together, and we'll have a good relationship with the educators.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our questions for today.